the most dangerous place to be weak is not in a fight. It's in public, because in public, weakness doesn't just harm you. It teaches strangers how to treat you. Your expression, your voice, your posture, your reactions, all of it is a signal. And if you keep broadcasting the wrong signal, don't be surprised when respect fades. Pay attention. There are inane behaviors you must never display in public if you want to protect your power. Step outside for 5 minutes, and you'll see people giving their respect away for free. Not because they're bad people, but because they lack control. 1. Loud reaction, 1 forced joke. On emotional spike, 1 anxious scroll on a phone, and suddenly everyone knows exactly where you stand. Today, I'm giving you 9 things you'll never do in public because the world is watching. Most people don't even realize they're being evaluated. Right now, someone is losing respect without knowing it. Not because they're broke, not because they're unattractive, not because they're unlucky, but because they can't regulate themselves when nays are on them. The truth is harsh. People notice more than you think, and they decide faster than you can explain. If you want to move through life with quiet authority, stop doing these 9 things in public starting today. Most people think confidence is loud. It's not. Loudness is usually insecurity to hide itself. Real confidence is the ability to remain steady while being observed. 1. Never perform your ego. Public spaces are full of tests. You'll be challenged, ignored, provoked, and pushed. Each one is an invitation to lack power. And once power leaks, people feel it immediately. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Strangers don't need your life story to judge you. Okay? Control your reaction speed. How easily nonsense pulls you off center. And the moment they see you low sight, even once, a label is formed. Weak, needy, unstable, immature. I don't want that for you. So understand this. The moment you step into public, you enter a silent audition. Not for fame, not for popularity. For respect, and here's what most people learn. Too late. The world doesn't wait for context. Strangers don't care why you're tired, angry, stressed, broke, distracted, or overwhelmed. They read your state, insikon's posture, eyes, tone, behavior, and they decide who you are. And the danger is this. You can lose respect without realizing you gave it away. 1 outburst in traffic, 1 loud complaint in a store, 1 desperate joke for attention, 1 cruel comment to a man who can't defend themselves, an emotional argument in front of strangers, 1 moment where your phone owns your face. Every careless impulse sends a message. This person lacks control. So if you've ever wondered why people talk over you, push you, ignore you, or feel comfortable disrespecting you, don't just blame the world. Look at what you've been broadcasting. Public space are not neutral. They are tests. A disciplined person uses public as training. An undisciplined person uses public as a stage. 1 grows stronger, 1 becomes predictable. And predictable people are easy to control, so listen carefully. These 9 habits leak power quietly, repeatedly, until your presence carries no weight. First, never perform your ego. The moment you walk into a space trying to impress, you've already lost balance. Some people lean too louder than necessary. Bigger gestures, forced humor, forced stories, forced confidence. They crave attention, so they inflate themselves. They talk over others. They interrupt. They try to dominate the room. It looks like a confidence, but it's hunger. And hunger is never respected. Hunger is exploited. Once you perform, you hand the room their remote control. Your mood depends on reactions. If they laugh, you feel alive. If they ignore you, you shrink. If they didn't approve, you scramble. That's not confidence. That's begging. With better clothes, a disciplined person enters a room and observes. They settle their breath. They didn't rush to prove they belong. And when you stop performing, something unusual happens. People start watching you. Quiet confidence pulls attention without tasking. Calm is rare. Stability is rare. The person who doesn't chase the room becomes the room's reference point. So notice that itch. The need to be funny, loud, impressive, dominant. That itch isn't you. It's insecurity trying to buy respect with noise. Let it pass. Point to never complain loudly, especially about problems you refuse. Tage. Jage, change. Complaining feels harmless. Normal? Everyone does it. That's why it's dangerous. Complaining in public is a confession of helplessness. You're telling strangers you can't handle your reality without spreading negativity. It trains your mind to search for problems instead of solutions. Your mouth becomes a pipeline for frustration instead of value. Some people complain about everything. Traffic, weather, money, people, work, family, government, life itself. Maybe life is unfair. But understand this. In public, your words become your reputation. Your tone becomes your presence. Your energy becomes your introduction. People might nod politely, but inside they think, this person is Shivi. This person drains. And the cruel part, complainers don't realize they're being avoided. They think others are busy. No, others are protecting their peace. If you can fix something, fix it. If you can't, endure it without eating it into public noise. Strength is never suffering. Strength is chauffeuring without becoming bitter sound. 3. Never disrespect the powerless. This is one of the clearest signs of weaker actor. Polite 2. The powerful, cruel to the powerless. Watch how someone speaks to a waiter, a cleaner, someone you know made a small mistake. Watch how they behave when they believe there are no consequences. That moment reveals of everything. Respect isn't situational. It's a standard. When you humiliate someone in public, you may feel powerful for a second, but everyone watching learns some mything. This person needs victims to feel big. This person is unstable. This person will turn on me too. A disciplined Ederson doesn't need to step on others' toes and tall. They stand tall because they are grounded and don't confuse kindness with weakness. You can be firm without being cruel. You can correct without humiliating. Respect, not softness. Respect is control point for never argue emotionally in public. Few things are more expensive than losing dignity in front of strangers. To adults can become children in seconds. Voice rise, gestures explode. Old wounds spill out. The goal shifts from resolution to winning, and suddenly, you're not solving anything. You're feeding ego. In that moment, you expose yourself. You're evil. Your triggers, you show exactly what pulls you off center. Some people will use that information later. Others will quietly downgrade you. Even if you're right, you'll be labeled drama. A disciplined person doesn't fight for dominance in public. They fight for clarity in private. If you must disagree, do it calmly. If you must set a boundary, do it cleanly. When heat rises, slow down, speak less, get quieter. End it. Learn to say, not here. Learn to say, we'll talk later. Learn to walk away. Walking away is not weakness. It's more of 5. Never let your phone control youth. This is the modern addiction no one wants to admit. Heads down, shoulders slumped, eyes vacant. Physically present, mentally owned. People can't stand in a line without scrolling, can't sit in silence without escaping, can't exist with themselves for 5 minutes. Attention is life. It shapes your confidence, patience, mood, and identity. When your phone controls your face in public, it communicates one thing clearly. I am not in control of Mimond. Compulsion has a look. People see it. A disciplined person uses tools. They are not used by them. So practice this. When you're outside, keep your head up. More rhythm, it's down. Hold your posture. Feel your feet. Look around. Notice people. Notice exits. Notice opportunities. Notice danger. Notice reality. Because person who can hold attention holds power, and the person who can't can be lead anywhere. By the next notification. 6. Never overshare your private struggles in public spaces. There is a difference between being honest and being exposed. Some people reveal their problems everywhere on calls in public, voice notes out loud, personal arguments on street. Deep trauma stories with 7 never gossip like entertainments, telling everyone what they're going through as if pain is their identity. Understand this clearly. Vulnerability is sacred. Oversharing a leakage. When you spill your private life in public, you're not always being real. Sometimes you're unconsciously begging for comfort, for attention, for validation, for someone to hold. What you want, hold yourself. But strangers are not responsible for your emotional weight. And worse, some will use it. Themament, you give people access to your wounds. You also give them a map of how to hurt you. A disciplined personos have become cold. They become a selective. They don't hide. They chooseth right place, the right person, their right timing. Strength is not pretending to have no pain. Strength is carrying pain with dignity until you can deal with it properly. Keep your private life private, not out of shame, out of wisdom. 7th, never gossip like it is entertainment. Gossip is cheap currency. It makes small people feel rich. They talk about others to feel above them. They dissect a means mistakes to feel cleaner. They mix someone's flaws to hide their own insecurity, and it creates a false sense of bonding to people, becoming closely through someone else's humiliation. Buddha, disciplined person understands something that gossipers don't. Every time you speak about someone who isn't there, you are training your mind and tongue to become dirty. And people notice even if they laugh. 8. Never invade space, physical energy with you. They don't trust you because of the no. If you speak about others like Houthis, you will speak about me like this. 2. Gossip creates a reputation you can't wash off. It tells the world ya have nothing valuable to build. So ya build connection through destruction. If you have a concern, speak to the person directly. If you can help, help. If you can't help, shut your mouth. A clean mouth comes from a clean mind, and a clean mind is powerful. 8. Never invade space physically, emotionally, or socially. Some people don't know how to exist around others without disturbing them. They stand too close. They touch too much. They talk too loud. They chew like they're alone. They cough without covering. They cut lines. They throw trash casually. They blast audio. They dominate conversions. They interrupt. They make a room adjust to them. That is not confidence. That is poor awareness. Public discipline is not about fancy manners. It's about respect. For the shared space, it's about being able to exist among people without stealing their comfort. And here's the part most people miss. Even your body language can invade space. A restless, aggressive gesture, a face that looks irritated at very own, a stare that challenges strangers, a tone that carries contempt. You might think, I didn't say anything, but your energy speaks before your words. A disciplined person moves like they own themselves. They don't need to spread out to feel big. They don't need to be rude to feel strong. They can be calm and still firm. They can be polite. 9. Never react instantly, master key, and still not be pushed. You want presence. Learn to control the small things. How you walk, how you wait, how you speak, how you listen, how you take space without taking peace. 9th, never react instantly. This is the master key because of everything in public is trying to pull a reaction out of you. Traffic tries. Rude people try. Delays try. Disrespect tries. Embarrassment tries. Temptation tries. Someone looking at you tries. Someone ignoring you tries. And most people are predictable. You poke them, they explode. You ignore them, they panic. You challenge them, they defend. You inconvenience them, they rage. Predictable people, airy controllable people. A disciplined Ederson has a pause. Sometimes that pause is one breath. Sometimes it's 1 second. But inside that pause, they choose. They didn't allow strangers to set their emotional temperature. They don't allow random events to steal their dignity. They don't allow ego to drive the body like a reckless animal. Someone cuts you off. You feel the surge. You want revenge, but you breath and let it pass. Someone disrespects you. You feel the heat. You want to attack, but you breathe and respond on leave necessary. Someone tries to bait you. You see it. You don't bite. This is not being weak. This is being untouchable. Because the person who can control their reactions cannot be controlled by the world. Now listen, don't turn this into a list you admire and forget. Turn it into training. Before you step outside, check your state. Shoulders relaxed, breath low, face neutral, eyes awake, posture honest. Then go out in. Treat the world like a mirror. When you stand in a line and you feel impatience rising, that's training. When you want to pick up the phone because Lons makes you uncomfortable, that's training. When someone is rude and your ego wants to prove something, that's training. When you want to complain, Tafiel connected, that's training. When turn public into training, do this daily, you want to gossip to feel important, that's training. When you want to perform to feel liked, that's training. Every urge is a weight. Lift it. You don't need to become airbot. You don't need to become cold. You don't need to become arrogant. You need to become stable beckos. Stable people are rare, and rare people are respected. And here is what will happen. When you practice this consistently, your presence will change without you trying. People will interrupt you less. They will test you less. They will feel something in you that says, this person is not easily moved. Not because you look scary, because you look centered, because you don't leak desperation. You don't leak anger. You don't leak insecurity. You don't leak childishness in public. You carry yourself like someone who has already decided who they are. So the next time you walk outside, don't just go to your destination, go to your training. Let the public be your dojo. Let discomfort be your teacher. Let silence sharpen you. Let provocation reveal you. Let the pause build you. And when the world tries to topple you into chaos, you'll feel the hook. You'll notice the impulse, and instead, off reacting like anyone else, you'll drapone breath deeper. You'll keep your face calm. You'll keep your tone clean. They'll keep your dignity intact. And you'll move through the noise like Simeon, who doesn't need to win every moment to be powerful. Like someone who understands that respect isn't demanded in public. It's demonstrated in the small second where your ego begs to act and you choose not to again and again until that control becomes your identity. Until calm becomes your habit. Until discipline becomes your default. Final mindset shift plus outro lines until. People can watch you all they want and still fine. Nothing to grab, nothing to control, nothing to control. Because you've already taken command of the only thing that truly matters, yourself right here, right now. Every time you step out, every time you breathe, every time you choose, so here's your practice. The next time you step outside, don't just go out. Go into training. Let the lean, the noise, the rude person, the lie, the temptation become your gym. Every momentous, either taking your power or sharpening it. Now you know the 9 things, but knowing is cheap. Everyone knows. almost nobody trains. You don't need to announce strength. Don't need to prove anything. Just do what wake people refuse to do. Pause, breathe, and choose. And when you walk away from today, remember this: respect doesn't start when people clap for you. Respect starts when your ego begs you to react and you don't. Public is the test. Your reaction is the answer. So step out with discipline. Speak less, observe more. Protect your attention. Control your face. Choose your words. Keep your dignity. Because when you master yourself in public, no one can control you in private.